Okay, we have we left off last time, and we didn't get a recording to the end. But where is? Oh, here is our Ubuntu WSM, and we switched to the chat branch here. Okay, Kirill uh, uh, merged in his updates into RChain community uh, RGov, and did a poll. And
you want to share screen?
Oh, that would help. Okay, this is where we left off. We did a poll of the RChain community RGov repository, which we cloned, and it pulled changes in these actions. So it didn't change any of the core row length, so we don't have to redeploy any classes. Because we did a redeploy back to earlier. This was a redeploy up here. Because we did update earlier, we did update the chat.row file, which is a core file. Okay, and just for the heck of it, let's see if anything else has been pushed since yesterday. And we have to be sure we do that when we're dealing with the community development. We don't know who's going to push what, sure. When. Okay, and now we can test. You know, am I running the interface? Jobs or none? No jobs, huh? npm start. Right?
Sure. What's jobs?
Jobs will tell me what's running in the background.
Oh.
Control Z. Okay, we're up and running. I guess we got. I don't know why we got all this output, but it looks like everything was built fine and runs successfully. So if I do a Control Z now, and I type BG, I put that in the background. Now, if I do jobs, it shows me.
Wait, sorry. What did you use to stop the npm start command? Npm start.
Control Z.
Okay, so that removes it from.
Yeah, if I put it in the foreground, it's running, and if I do a Control Z, it stops it and puts it. It stops it, and then if I do BG, it puts it in the background.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then jobs just shows me the batch jobs. Now, I can use
Does it still auto refreshes by itself in the background?
Yes, but but it'll mess up my screen, but that's okay. I want to know when it, you know, it doesn't hurt me. And in other words, it's going to display the output when it updates. Okay, and do we have? So we're running, and for some reason on my machine it takes forever for it to auto start. So I'm just going to go to localhost 8080 and see that it's running. And I'm going to switch to, I guess, a Bootstrap account. And I'm going localhost, and I'm going to see where I am. I'm going to do a peek inbox and deploy. And basically, we're just testing chat now.
Yep.
And you can do open debugger in case we want to see what's going on. This is, doesn't change size. Okay. So we have an issue color, and we have a voter permission. That's all we have. Whoa. And then this finally popped up. I'm going to kill that. You know, after a long delay, it automatically launches. Okay, so, and then it opens that window. Okay, so we don't have a chat here. So, oops, we're going to stay on localhost, and we're going to make a new chat, and we're going to call channel collab, and we're going to deploy, and we're going to sign it. Okay, sent. Okay, so this means we should have in our inbox, we should have a chat admin and a chat capabilities.
Okay.
Okay. And what do we have? We have a chat collab, which has an is-end and a listener capability, and a publish capability. And we have a chat admin with collab, which has a publish and subscribe. Okay, when we subscribe to it, that's where we get the listener and the is-end, where we define the listener and the is-end. So this looks like it's perfect. Okay, so I guess I'll verify everything here. I'll send a chat channel collab. A message, hello. And we'll deploy that. Sign it.
Is there a possibility of making the chat real time?
No, it's not going to be real time. It's going to, if it takes 30 seconds for a post, it's going to be late by 30 seconds. And when we rechat, it's only going to read what's waiting. We're going to have to do a rechat again to get the new stuff. So we'll probably, you'll read it every 30 seconds. What's new? Okay. And what do we got? Okay, we got some debugging in here, which we don't need to take, just to make sure we got to where we were. And now we're going to read chat, channel collab. This all worked before, but it didn't work for a new member. There was a problem. And I
How
just
do
want
you,
to confirm that it still works for the the uh, the first member. The next thing we do is add a member to the chat, assuming this works, which I guess it will work. It has to work. We had a problem with the names before success. No data deploy ID. Oh no. Well, it didn't work. Chat channel for listener. We read the listener and the is end. So something went wrong here. Something went wrong. So return. Let's see if we actually, we saw that we had a listener and is end capability for chat, for the channel, right? This should work, but it didn't work. Okay, because we get the peek capability in the index, we peek at the chat for the channel, and then we read the listener and is end capabilities. Problem, no data deploy ID. So how did it not get the listener and the is end?
oh, we had those already.
I don't know. Just for the heck of it. Let me add the peak. Well, peak got here. Got peak. So we didn't get, we never got here. And did we get the peak capability? Looks like this interface is screwed up again.
How do you mean?
It cut off the beginning. I don't know how to get it back. There's no
If you,
horizontal scroll.
okay, that, okay.
We try moving that. It doesn't help. Okay, so it did get the peak. It did get the peak. So it got the peak, and then it read a list with a map from the channel. Okay, so let's look at, well, first of all, I'm going to, so if I do a peek inbox again, still no good here. I need to reload the page. Why we got this bug, Jesus. Can you think of what might cause that bug?
You mean the
Cutting off the right end. I mean,
it has to do with the
now we do
text
have a,
box.
we
With
do
the
have,
editor.
we do have a scroll bar here now. Okay, but when it was scrolled over, we didn't have a scroll bar.
When to scroll over, how do you mean?
There's a scroll bar at the bottom.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
a
but
scroll.
it was the whole page that was cut off, not just.
Yeah, it was the whole page. It's it has to do with I've forgotten the exact command that you have, the exact keys you have to press inside of the editor. But if you're moving inside the editor, sometimes it breaks the entire web page. The error has been documented before. It's just it's been a while. So
Interesting. Maybe it shouldn't be a list. We look up chat and collab. So we'll just do a peek on the chat and the collab here. Hey, Kirill. We're just some continuing our debugging here. We just testing chat, and we had a problem. Okay, in that. Okay, well, we have a list, and the list has a map in it with 3 things in it, right? But the problem we had when we went to RChat, it wasn't finding this listener and this is end. And I think we didn't we add a ... underscore to this? I thought we did. And we have Rich.
Hello guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, what happened? You got no camera today?
I haven't because long story, but I needed a new mouse and keyboard and they're using the only spare USB slot. So I can't go on camera, I'm afraid. How are you all?
Oh, doing pretty good. Okay,
Good.
so now we still get no data at deploy ID. So do we want to look into this further? Or do we want to continue with the tutorial?
I defer to you guys. I'm quite if you're in the middle of something, I'm quite happy to observe. If Kirill, David want to switch tack, over to you.
Yeah. Well, this is bizarre because this was working fine before. And then we added is end to this. And we just looked at the inbox and we had a map with is end in it. Listener and is end.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I mean, if we look at, okay, well, okay, well, we might have gotten here this time. Is this going to move me over again? Okay, let's see if we do, if we get got here. Deploy. Okay, so we're looking for a map that has listener, is end, and other stuff. And it wasn't finding that before. We added the other stuff here to see if that makes a difference. No data deploy ID. Still doesn't find it. I'm really stumped at this right now. I mean, if we look at this one more time, we look at, I did a new chat called Collab, and we had we should have a list containing a map which has the listener and the is end. Oh, where's the name? Oh,
Name
it doesn't have a name because I specified the specific. I did the type and the subtype here. So here we have the URI displayed, but that's because this says the URI outputs the URI, and then it does the peak, the type, subtype with the output to the deployer ID. And we'll just look at this a little further. This is the vote. I'll get rid of that. We're done with the vote for this year. And we'll look at the inbox.row, and we look at the read with type and subtype, 3 arguments. So, oh, well, we're actually looking at the peak, the type, subtype, and return. So we're getting a return value on this channel. And we're matching all the items in the inbox, something which has the type and the subtype we specify. And then the rest of the items. And we return the rest of the items, which we've shown is a list containing a map. Containing a publish, a listener, and an isent. So I'm stuck. Especially since this did work before. If we so so we make a name out of the list that has the map. I could add pub in here just for the heck of it.
I'll be right back. Let me get a glass of water, please.
You'll be back.
Yeah, sure. I just want to get a glass of water.
Okay. So now we're matching exactly what we have in the chat collab. Type and subtype. We get listener capability is end to see what's at the end and publish if we want to publish to the chat channel. We still get no data display ID. I don't know how that's possible.
Can you get them side by side?
No, I guess to get them side by side, I have to. Oops. I mean, what are we looking at side by side? The code? We do a peak.
Yeah, so
We know we get the peak. We have no trouble getting the peak. Okay, and then we're doing a peak, type, subtype, and deployer ID with 3 arguments. We're doing a peak.
and deploy ID should be a unforgeable name. What if sub?
Right,
Okay,
right. That's the
subtypes
return.
should-
That's the return channel. That's where it returns, right? That that's that's the data we get at deploy ID, right? Okay, so
Yeah.
and we also sent the URI. So we have the we have the URI output from here. Okay, this is the URI line, right? Here's where we're outputting deploy ID. The URI to display ID. Then the output of the peak goes to the deploy ID. And that's a list that contains 3 keys, that contains a map, and the map contains 3 keys.
Okay. Is end listener in pub.
Yeah. So the only other thing we can do, and we probably should move to the tutorial rather than spend the whole hour working on this, is go to the chat. Where's the chat? Chat should be right up here at the top, right? We just RChain community chat. Oh, I'm looking. Duh. It's RGov. It's not chat. We're looking for the RGov, and we're looking for the branch chat.
Yeah.
And we're
Yeah.
looking in the for the source and the actions. We're looking for read chat. Okay, and we're looking at the history. Okay, and so we look at what it was. This was working when we read just the listener. Okay, we were actually able to receive the chat fine.
Well, the listener.
What? The listener is where is where we read chats from the message queue. Every time something's published, it's they're sent sequentially to the listener channel in a subscription.
I get it.
Okay. For value. Okay, and ACK is where we tell the listener that we're done. we received a message. And we can get the next one in a loop, which is what we're going to do if we ever get this to work. I mean, the only thing we can do is maybe is regress this. What'd I do? Didn't I have two screens open? Or I got another screen over there. Okay. So we have, we can take out all this stuff. Okay, now we have the thing that worked. Listener value. And we can deploy this. And I should have put in a, we got here. There's always a chance we can get there, but not get anything as a listener. We got no data at deploy ID, so we're not even getting this listener. And if I put comma, dot, underscore, let me cancel it. I just want to put this.
Is it significant that we are not specifying a channel?
Obviously, that's significant. But that was there, but I guess we lost it, right? If we don't specify a channel, obviously we're not going to find it. Okay, this matches
problem not here. Maybe the problem's not here. So if you remove is
now what is it? This went back to the original. Why did this go back to the original? I don't understand why what happened to my, I mean, I had in here the got here, and that disappeared. Dot underscore. It seems like at random times this updates. The resets the code, which is a problem for using it as a developer tool. It got here. It got here. Interesting.
why?
But it didn't get it. It didn't get. It didn't get.
No.
It didn't get it. It didn't get any. It did. It got here, but it didn't. It didn't get. It didn't get a message.
So it's the listener. It's
So
the listener channel.
Well, I'm thinking, once it read it, it's going to be gone, right? But, why does this work? And
Mm,
this does not work?
well, this is actually consuming it, right? So the arrow is actually, the arrow we're using is actually consuming it. But do we
Right,
need
it's
to consume?
consuming everything on the channel, but.
Do we
Okay,
need to
so
consume it?
of course we have to read the channel in order to get what's in the channel. Oh, what do you mean?
Yeah, but we can do a peek. Peek.
Well, we did a peek here, so we actually didn't consume it. Peek doesn't consume it. It leaves it in the mailbox.
Okay.
Leaves it in the inbox.
So maybe it's the listener.
Well, if we listen once, we're not going to get it. It's not, and there's nothing going to be there anymore. Okay, so we might have already listened to it in one of our tries here. We can always send something else. Okay, so it worked now with the is end. And the ... So if I do, well, let me do a send chat again.
What did we remove?
Yeah, I mean, that the only difference was that had the underscore. Okay, so if we send something else to the collab channel, we publish a message, hello. And it did a return 1 and return 2. Now, how come we didn't get chat sent? Publish message channel. It doesn't say chat sent. Did we break sending? That's what's wrong. There's just nothing there to read. So we did return 1, return 2, and then we called publish.
What does pub do?
It publishes a message to the chat channel.
Okay. So in that case,
But
it
we
should-
didn't get a return. Okay, so if we look at chat and we look at publish,
Yeah, but it takes one argument. It doesn't take two. Am I right?
right?
So it's just a message.
So that's
But
So I think we were saying that maybe we needed a second argument, right?
Yeah,
We needed to confirm that it was sent. Do we? Maybe we don't need to
yeah,
consider.
yeah, we do.
Why?
Don't
Why? Why? I guess I
Well-
better to get the phone. Huh? Hello?
That's interesting.
Okay. I got to open the gate. I'll be right back.
Hey, Rich.
Kirill. Hey mate, how you doing?
Yeah, good.
You've been
It's
doing
you.
some programming by the sounds of it. Some proper
Yeah,
lines.
some. We've been cheating on you.
No worries.
We were working on this twice this week.
Good on you. It's all good, right? You'll be able to help me.
I've also been learning Rust on the side.
Rust. Good work. Did you say Rust, Kirill?
Yeah, Rust.
Nice. I'm impressed. So what are we looking at here? We're trying to send a chat to is that the channel's collab? Is that the real Discord collab, or is it something else? Is it just a channel?
I just made it
No.
up. I said
Okay.
make a new chat, and I said, and you know, for the channel name, I typed in collab.
Cool.
It's
And-
it's a
and
it's
then
a
the-
RChain chat. It's not an existing chat.
Yeah, and I think does the collab appear in the code there at the top?
Collab is the channel. Message
Yeah,
is
so-
hello.
Yeah, if you scroll up on the code.
What do you mean?
No, sorry, on the actual code. We're only on
Oh.
line. Yeah. So
Collab
right,
is the channel. Hello is the message.
got it. Yeah, but it's actually passed in code. That's quite interesting. Okay, carry on, guys. I don't want to interrupt. I'm happy to observe today. I'm pretty tired. You always pick something up if you read the messages. Whenever I'm training anyone, I always tell them to look at a screen and read the messages. So I'll do that, and I'll let you carry on doing useful work.
Okay. So I got an
Cheers.
error here because I had an extra par. That was not needed. And now, I took off the argument here. I didn't modify the code yet. Maybe. Okay, return 1, return 2. Okay, but we still don't know if it did this because we didn't return anything. Except that it worked before. So if we do a ReChat now for collab channel. Now this was not completing, but we'll take a couple, just take a couple of minutes here. We did get it to finish when we took out the is end. And we didn't put a got here in here. We should have put a got here in here. No data deploy ID. So and what we think this should be is dot 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 underscore is what we think should work, because we know there's more in the map. There's a pub in the map we're not using. Pub capability. We don't use the publish capability when we're reading. And we just got the publish capability without a problem. Got here. We did a got here, but the listener didn't. There was nothing at the listener. All right. Boy, this is tough.
Can I ask a row line question? Or looking at the code, Jim?
Yeah.
It's probably a dumb question, but you never know. It might help. So, in line 10, you're naming a channel with the @ sign, or you're creating an unforgeable name, I believe.
No, no, it's not unforgeable. We're making a name. Well, it is
Yeah.
unforgeable because it has unforgeable names in it. Right. It has listener is unforgeable, is end is unforgeable.
I was
And
thinking
we're making this whole list. We're changing this process, which is a list. Any data is a process. Number 2 is a process. Quote, listener, quote is a process.
yeah.
Okay, listener is a name, but we make it a process. We always.
So I follow that everything in the squiggly brackets is a process.
You're right. No, well, we have strings and processes. We have strings for the tag. Well, this is a map.
Right.
This is so the name of this field is listener, and the value is the unforgeable name listener, or it'll be bound to the name listener for the purposes for our purposes. So when it reads this channel, if it matches this pattern, which obviously it did, it said got here. So what it read from the channel when it did a peek of my chat capabilities for the collab channel.
Yeah.
Okay, what it returned is a list containing a map that had the key listener, and it creates the name listener. I could call it anything I want.
Yeah.
Okay, and it, so in there we had a listener capability, had is-end capability. Okay, so that we bind that to the name is-end. Okay, if I I can make this name anything I want. It's end XXX, right? It doesn't matter. Okay, if I change listener, if I change listener to listener XXX, then I have to put an XXX down here. Because
really, is that not in the quote bit? Is it not the name?
This is the tag on the value. The value is the unforgeable name of listener. Doesn't matter what we call it. We can call it anything we want.
Okay, yeah.
It's still going to be the unforgeable name, which has the key listener. The string is the key. With a colon. We have a name colon value. It's a map with name colon value. Name colon value. What name we give to the value doesn't matter.
I guess my question was, I thought the star listener XXX as it is now, I thought that is dequoting a name to produce a process.
Right. Listener XXX is the name that we want to change to
Yeah, I got
to
it.
process. Okay, the
Yeah. So channel is providing a process which matches the map,
Yeah.
and the first element of that match it is assigned to the listener XXX. Yeah. I
right.
think I got it. Thanks.
Okay, when we where's the test program? When the well, the easiest place to see that is the it's in the add user. Oh, now I'm lost here, but
Okay, so what you're saying, what you're saying is the first element of the processing CH is passed into a new name that you're creating right there, which is currently assigned to listener XXX.
yeah, we still have the
And
inbox here, so we can see that we have that for listener we have this unfortunate name, or that we have this this is this is not the name, but it's the it's the unforgeable private name. It's the name. It's the unforgeable name in essence.
Yeah.
Okay, so this unforgeable name, we're going to give the name listener, but we need to specify in a map as a value, which means we have to turn it into a process. So we have to put a star.
Yeah. What's value on line 12?
Value is what's returned by the listener. Okay, when we do a publish.
Yeah, of course. Sorry. First, yeah, the first element on the right-hand side of the read, it matches the first element on the left-hand side. Sorry, I was reading it incorrectly. Of course, that's what value is. I'm with you.
So in the subscribe, when we subscribe to the thing, it's going to have a loop where it's going to deliver us all the messages. Okay. And then when we publish something, we put it at the end of the list. So we create a new tail where the next thing will go. Okay, we read the old tail and we put the message at the tail. And then, just to confuse things, when we subscribe in the subscribe, which we did here, okay, in the loop, okay, we're going to read the value next, and then we're going to call the listener with the value. So for each thing that gets added, when we have a value next, we're going to send that value to the listener. In our case, we send hello as the value. It's the message. Okay, so we so it sends a message to the listener, and then we read it. We read what value was sent to the listener.
Is there a problem with having an ACK there where you've no second parameter on the right-hand side?
We're sending to the listener 2 arguments. value in an ACK. And then it waits for the ACK before it goes through the loop. So until I receive one thing, it doesn't loop to the next thing. And we got so
How does value relate to that other contract that you were just looking at? I didn't follow the complete code, but I sort of got
it's
got
what
the
we
idea of,
it's the value we wrote to the listener, right? So it's the value we wrote to the listener here. And that's the value that we got from the from the next thing in the list. And the next thing on the list we published, this is the message, that's the value. And that's the next, the new end of the list. So every time we publish something, we put it on the new end of the list. And then up here, we read them. So we could spend more time debugging this. I guess we've been a while working on it. I don't know what. I have no clue right now why we can write stuff to the list, but we can't read it back. I mean, obviously, if we read something here, if something was sent to the listener, okay, it should show us the message. It should say hello.
I don't think you're sharing.
Oh. Okay, so okay, so what we've succeeded in doing is we've succeeded in fixing this method, the RChat method, by adding the ... underscore.
and that means everything else, right?
Right. We have more stuff in it, so we need to say in order for it to match the pattern, in order for what was written to the channel to match the pattern, we have to allow for the more stuff, which would be the publish
And on what
capability, which we don't need.
Yeah.
Right. We can do, alternatively, we could put publish here, right? And it'll still work.
I get that now.
Because the last thing in there, these are the only things in there. Okay, we would bind the name pub to the publish capability and then never use it. Now here we're getting the is end, we're never using it, but we want to use it. We want to loop through until we get to the end. We want to get all the messages until we get to the end. Okay, but we didn't put the loop in yet. Okay, so if we
could we print out what's on listener straight after got here before the for?
What do you want? If you want, we just had we can see the for virtual name here.
Okay.
All right, we don't need to print it.
I thought we were expecting hello on listener XXX.
No, we that's from value. That's when we read it. We get we get a tuple, we get the two values.
Ah,
Listener, you know, until we read it, you know, it's just an unforgeable name. It doesn't have a value, it's a name,
hmm.
you know, it's an unforgeable name. We have to, if we read what was sent to it, okay,
Yeah.
for one thing, you know, it's gone. The value isn't in there anymore.
True, but we would at least see it printed on screen, right? Or not?
No, we printed here.
Yeah, but we're not getting to there. That's my point.
Right, we're not getting to there. It looks like we're writing two things to here, but we're not getting them. And this was working.
And are you expecting that listener XXX is a tuple, a two tuple?
I'm expecting the listener XXX is just an unforgeable name.
Right.
What if you remove
Okay.
the ACK? What happens if you remove the ACK from the fork comprehension?
Well, we never write just, you know, we never write just the value.
Okay.
Okay, where do we write? We always write a tuple value ACK to listener.
Can we print out that tuple before we hit the full comprehension?
Well, we do. We have to redeploy the class though. But
fair enough.
we can see this. We can see this.
Are we confident the code we're looking at
What is
now
result?
correct?
Where's the result? I mean, this was working before. We really haven't changed anything here. So we can see that this sends standard out sent. And that's when but that's after we get an ACK back from the listener. Then we do this got next. Standard out. So if I guess should I fix this or should you fix it? I mean, we should put the one fix in that we did at least, which is in
Yeah, go ahead.
was in RChain. And that was just come underscore. And now it's going to reload my pages probably for me. What? Oh. Okay, so this is then we do a send chat channel collab message hello world, whatever. And we deploy that. And then we,
Every time you click deploy, you're deploying a smart contract, right?
yeah, the Roland code. We call
Yeah,
it,
I
you know,
thought-
I mean, it's the Roland code doesn't have to have a contract in it, but
I take your point. Yeah.
um,
Yeah, I hate the word smart contract in many ways, but I get why it's called it, but it's code, right? That you deploy to a blockchain.
that,
It failed.
well, we don't know that for sure. Send chat did nothing. Oh, it's still going. Maybe I didn't sign it. Yeah, it
Trying to
looks
make
like
it-
it looks like it's trying to deploy it here, and it's
Are you hung in MetaMask, Jim? If you move your screen over, do you need to sign it?
yeah. As you see, there's a 1 here. Sign. Now it executes.
When you say executes, do you mean executes the code with the parameters pass, or do you mean deploys the code to the blockchain?
Just whatever was in this box,
Yeah,
it runs. Okay, and here you can see it.
yeah, yeah.
Collab,
fair enough.
hello world, channel message.
Yeah, so you're not calling a contract, you're executing Roland code. Got you.
Yeah, and it looks like it's not going to propose a block. So I'm going to do another Control Z. Oh, here, and I'm going to put this in the background. Now, if I look at jobs, I have the interface npm start, and I have the tail of the boot of the log, and then I'm going to run // bootstrap propose. I took me so long to sign it that it gave up trying to propose the block.
So you
Now,
reboot.
now I manually propose the block, and I didn't get any output. Why didn't I get any output? Let's see what I got here. Okay, so
There's no
did-
message.
I
Should there
did
be a
this
message?
publish. Well, it has to return 1, return 2, so it should have done a publish. Oh, but I didn't fix this publish, did I? It's only 1 argument. So there is no publish with 2 arguments, unless we add another argument.
Jim, is that correct, or have you got a par?
Oops, I got a par. Good
Yeah, you
man.
just did. You
Good
just
man.
deleted something. You meant to delete the whole line, did you? Yeah.
So deploy it again. I had an extra par. Okay, so I see sent. What did it send? It sent an empty message. How did that happen?
So that's something to do with the front end interface. Is it a bug in it that it keeps resetting the message?
I don't know. I don't know exactly what happened here, but it does reset because of the way that it uses the web. What is it? The webpack. When you change a file, it updates the interface. Oh, yeah, and this is wrong again. So why don't I just update that in the source code, huh? So send chat. I'm going to take out this return channel. I don't know. If we want to take that out or not.
I was surprised you deleted it, but I know so little about this, and I'm struggling to follow, so I didn't like to call it. But why did you delete that for comprehension?
I didn't, because there is no. I'm not reading channel anymore. I didn't call. I didn't pass channel as an argument to publish,
Oh,
because
I see.
publish doesn't support two arguments. Okay.
Guys, I'm going to leave you for today. I'm too tired.
All right.
Always nice to see you, Carol. All good?
Good to see you.
with you?
And
Yeah, everything's good here.
I figured,
But
because
yeah,
it's time,
enjoy your
it's time to do
session
this.
and don't give up like I do. See ya.
See you, mate.
so I think what it does here is what still has the bar on it. I didn't save it without the bar. Yes.
You've lost your channel and message again, Jim.
What? Yeah. This needs a bar here. So channel collab. So when I update the source file, it updates the interface. I mean, that's just
What it does. Yeah,
what it
fair
does.
enough.
Then we could probably call it with arguments so it doesn't do that automatically.
Yeah.
Or I'm not sure what we do. Hello
Problem for another day. Yeah.
And what just came back?
Is it because it's in the code? If you go back to Visual, yeah. Oh, have you saved it in Visual Studio, in Visual Code?
Apparently not. I don't see any output. What did I do wrong now? I got return 1 and return 2, but I got no output in the log from publish. I guess publish doesn't put anything in the log.
Does it have to be
Public-
standard out? No.
Publish puts to the log. And what is log?
Well, that's standard, right? So that should work for everything, if I'm not mistaken.
Log list is what? Log list should be the output.
It's not redirected to standard out,
Yeah.
is it?
It's not displaying anything.
You've also got log, by the way, in that line. There was log list and log. I don't know if that meant anything.
Log
Towards the
list
end
is
of-
log is the name of the log contract.
right.
Okay, log is the name of the
Yeah, yeah.
contract. Log list is where it keeps the log in the list.
Hmm.
It keeps adding. Adding. It reads the old list and it writes the log list with the prior entries, concatenating the new entry.
See.
So we're going to rechat collab. Now it didn't rewrite this page, but that's okay. This is what we want.
Do you want to put listener XXX back to listener? Not that it matters, but
It doesn't matter. I didn't know. Okay, so we ended up with got here. But we didn't end up with anything read from the listener. And let's just do it again. Since we wrote to the thing twice.
how come it's plus plus and not plus on the concatenation with message and value?
Well, plus is numeric addition. Plus is concatenation.
Okay. So you do keep picking things up. I'm sorry I can't be much help.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to call it a day, actually. And we look here, and I'm going to put I'm just going to put debugging here.
Is that just a check-in
the
message?
chat?
Got debugging. I don't know if you meant to.
That's close enough.
Yeah.
Um,
American cool. Yeah, nice.
okay, so so we did ReChat and we did send chat.
This is all hooked into Git, is it? Or GitHub?
GitHub, right? So now I'm going to
Yeah.
commit. I'm going to commit that, and then I'm going to push it. Okay, so the next person will get the fixes that we put in so far.
Nice
I
work.
I really don't know how we fixed it. I mean, why? I mean, the comma dot 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 underscore didn't seem to help before, but now it's working.
Has our node been updated?
It has, but I haven't loaded a new one. And
Little by little, Agent.
I'm sorry, what?
Little by little.
Little
we'll
by
get there.
little.
You taught me
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
However little, it's still progress, right?
Yeah. Let's
How are you
see.
feeling before we drop? Are you okay?
Oh yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I mean, I'm still, you know, walking twice around the house is about my limit. Then I have to recover for a few minutes.
Well done, though. You seem a lot better, and you know you're back on it. So
No,
you're not overworking, are you?
no,
Good.
I'm over sitting in the chair here. I probably should walk around the house every hour.
Make
And I
sure you
haven't
do.
been doing that.
Yeah. Make sure you do, mate. Your health's more important than anything, and you'll be around a long time as well. So you'll even be helping RChain by looking after yourself.
All right, guy. Good to see you, man. Take care now.
Likewise. Thank you.
Bye-bye, David.